guys, it's your girl Mela Bodyguard here, back with another video. I am officially completed with ...2021 competition season. I cannot wait to start. We already started working out the plans for 2022 with my coach already, and I'm excited for that. So I'm here to what's the word? I guess reflect and give feedback, the things that I went through during prep. And most importantly, this video, the topic, it's really being prepped by your boyfriend, the expectations versus the actual reality of it. And this is for me, this is just my opinion. This is what I think, and this is what I've been through, and just to make people aware. When he first brought the idea to me, I immediately shut it down, like I said, because my friends were just like, no. All the people that competed around me was like, no, bad idea, red flag, do not do it. And I just kept looking at the fact that, nigga, we could be a power couple. Like, why not? Let's do this. But then I also had to think about the bigger picture. Like, you know, what if we break up? What if this shit don't go how we expect it to go? You know, then I'm stuck without a coach. Or we break up and then you still want to coach me. That's a little weird, and I don't like weird shit. So he was just like, no, that's not. Even if we break up, you know, I would still coach you. So, anyway, that was a little shady, a little eye roll thing. So, long story short, I was just like, okay, fine. Show date was May 1st, which was supposed to be an OCB. OCB is a natural bodybuilding organization, and I was gonna do women's physique. I was actually really excited for that because I love women's physique. If you don't know, like, fine, I'm gonna take your word for it. No problem. Let's do it. So we started prep officially November 2021. We started doing like a little mini bulk, you can say, because he said that I was too small. I will drop clips right here for you guys. So he was just like, you know, we got to put some muscle on you and things of that nature. And so 2021, we did November and December, we bulked. And then January 4th, right after the new year, we started prep. At that time, I was about 17 weeks out. Other than the typical relationship things that everybody goes through, the first prep wasn't bad. We had our highs, a shit ton of lows, then a couple more highs. I did at one point start questioning him because I just didn't trust him. And he was just like, oh, you know, you don't trust me. You're asking outsiders about your prep and you're not supposed to do that. And I was just like, you're right. So I stopped asking people if I should be eating 7 ounces of protein, if 7 ounces of protein is too much, you know, even though everyone was just like, you're eating too much. And he was just like, you're a natural athlete. You have to eat more to maintain your muscle and so on and so forth. So I literally listened to him and did everything that I needed to do. First show came by, you know, a lot of people was just like, is your boyfriend coming to your show? And I'm just like, no, he's sick. After what happened, I didn't make it on stage. I cried my eyes out because I didn't make it on stage. They missed my stage time and they pushed the times wrong due to the organization. So I got all my money back, and, you know, he was on the phone to me the whole time, and he was just like, you know, because of this, I'm never gonna miss another show. Following 2 weeks later, June 5th, I did the Bev Francis, I think the Eastern Atlantic States show. He also wasn't there. I stayed focused. I stayed on track. Still did what I had to do. And I got nationally qualified, placed top 5. And I was like, yeah, we're going to start preparing for nationals. And I was actually really excited because I'm like, I am going on this next part of my journey with my significant other. It sucks that he's physically not there, but I'm going to still make it work. I'm going to still do what it do. And we didn't really see each other a lot either, like, for the time we've been together. Look at that, and it did make me feel a kind of way because he always went to his other athlete show, and yeah, their shows were in local, so he can just drive to it an hour or two, but he never came to any of mine. So I did feel a way and I left it alone. And we started prep in July for my third show now, which was supposed to be The Clash. And my weight, just the diet, nothing was working. Like, nothing was working. The diet he gave me, I kept gaining weight. The training splits, it just wasn't working. And I kept expressing to him like, hey, Lo, I'm gaining weight. Something is not right. And he just kept saying, you're stressing out. It's stress that's making you gain all this weight. Now, I was stressed. But even when I finally got a hold of my cortisol, I really started taking things to help me not be stressed, my weight was still going up. I went from 150 pound stage weight all the way up to 178, almost 180 pounds, okay? And at that point, it was a lot going on in my relationship. I was extremely stressed out from my relationship. It was a lot of neglect. Being with your significant other that's coaching you, you would think that they're gonna be there throughout the time to support you. And that's another thing. When you prep with your significant other, you become very needy and dependent on them. And sometimes it can be overwhelming. Yes, it can be overwhelming because that person has their own things to do. But at the same time, you can't just forget about people, especially what made things even worse, I kept just telling him like, this isn't working. And he just kept saying, you're not listening to me. And I'm just like, no, you're not listening to me. I'm the one following the diet you're giving me. And I'm telling you, it's not working. Now, we all know every prep is different. What may have worked last prep might not work this prep. And there's also that if it ain't broke, don't fix it prep. So if this diet plan worked for you and all the other preps, it may still be working, but I felt like my body just got used to it and he just wasn't trying to hear me. About 10 or I think I was about 8 weeks out from the Clash. And when I looked at my body, I was like, yo, I'm not making November 6th. Like, there's no way I'm going on stage November 6th. And he kept saying, oh no, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. So, at that time, even before, we started prep, we were actually talking about me getting a new coach. Like, I told him I wanted somebody here. I want somebody to train me. I want this, that, and the third. And he was like, okay, I support it. I'm like, I don't want you to feel a kind of way. And he was very supportive of me getting a new coach. And I was happy with that because you would want your significant other to be supportive of your decisions and what you do. So the coaches that I found here really weren't the greatest. And the ones that were great, they weren't taking in-person clients. Everything had to be online. So I'm just like, fuck it. I had reached out to 2 really good and known coaches. The first one was Underrated Muscle, and the second one was Beast Factory. Beast Factory got back to me faster, and he literally just laid out the truth and what I was doing wrong for my body type, because my body type is still endomorph. No matter how much muscle we got going on here, I'm still a big bitch, and my body does not understand this muscle shit yet. I've only been prepping for a year. I still have more to learn. My body still has more to understand. And Bobby pretty much told me what it was and what it is. At that time, I still did not leave my boyfriend as my coach. He was still coaching me. And Bobby said, I'm going to make you a meal plan. Try it for 2 weeks. Let me know how it goes. In 2 weeks, I lost 12 pounds in 2 weeks. So me being the honest person that I am, I told my boyfriend, I said, hey, I know you're like totally against this, but I reached out to another coach for help and he gave me a meal plan. And I was like, if you're wondering why I'm losing weight, here's why. And I'm going to drop the picture so you guys can see the 2-week difference. And he was so against the diet, like, oh, that's not sustainable and it's very temporarily. And that this whole, if you think about it, prep is not sustainable. Like, we get peeled down for one show day and then we come back to barely having abs and to being soft again. So if you think about it, none of this is permanent. Everything is very temporary. But whatever. So I told him, I said, listen, this meal plan is working. And he was just like, all right, fine. If it works, then it works. I officially didn't. My relationship was getting rough and I was trying to do things accordingly. And I did actually try to talk to him and tell him that I don't want you to coach me anymore. And we didn't get to have that talk because we got in an argument, I think, prior to the night before. So we weren't talking to each other for a couple hours. How he found out that I made the switch, he claims that one of his athletes sent it. He called me immediately and was just like, oh, so this is how I gotta find out you switched your coach. And I was just like, I tried to call you and talk to you, but you chose to ignore me like you always do. So you found out from Instagram. What do you want me to do? You know, the dynamic of the relationship started to shift a little bit. Now it's shifted, and I thought maybe me getting a new coach will make it better for us. You know, everything will be now separate again. Like I said, I knew this was gonna happen. Like, I foreseen this happening. And he would always say like, oh, even if we broke up, like, I would still prep you. No, that's weird. Like, how the fuck the person that I'm supposed to be in love with, we break up, I'm supposed to be fine with you prepping me? Nigga, go to hell. Anyway, in actuality, a lot changed. He started to become very different. He started to become very mean. The lack of interest seemed, you know, nothing seemed genuine anymore. Nothing seemed real anymore. And when I did bring it to his attention, you know, he was just like, I'm tired. I'm so tired. You know, the gym is overwhelming and trying to get a house. And all I kept saying was, you know, I understand. I definitely understand. And, you know, when we did have conversations about his new athletes and him going to shows with them next year, I was just like, you're traveling to shows next year? You've never once traveled to any of my shows. And I really and truly tried not to make it seem like a jealousy thing, but I am your girlfriend. Where's the support? Where? But anyway, it also started to become very annoying when I used to have to ask him over and over for my meal plans. I know he makes the schedule and meal plans on Sunday. Everyone would get their meal plans. You know when I get mine? Sometimes Monday afternoon, Monday night, maybe Monday morning if I'm lucky. But everybody got to prep their meals on Sunday, except Mel. How do I feel like you support me if you can't even send me my meal plan on time? I'm gonna get into crazy detail, but you guys can understand and see why I made the switch just impulsively. It was a lot of things going on in my relationship that I just couldn't take anymore. I was emotionally drained, emotionally exhausted. I cried every single day leading up to the week of my birthday. To a point, I went from 163 pounds back up to 173 pounds. So I actually wrote down some pros and cons. So a couple pros to be prepped by your boyfriend: you have 24-hour access to them, honey. That's amazing, because it's like, that's my man. I'm calling you at 11 o'clock and you gonna answer. You can't really do that with a regular coach because you can't be invading their privacy like that, any personal space. You know, this, you know. And of course, I didn't pay him. That was my boyfriend. They're gonna always see your physique. If you see them often, they're always gonna see your body, period. They're gonna know your body. You spent months with them. They see you every single day. They're gonna know if broccoli bloats you or if spinach bloats you. You know, they're gonna know that because you with them. You gonna tell them everything. Most of all, support. You know, having your significant other prep you, it's supportive. It's like, damn, you know, my boyfriend is prepping me. He's supportive of this. He want to see me win. Another pro is that they can train you. If you guys, you know, live near each other or whatever, your boyfriend can train you, period. And And most importantly, they're on your back. They're on top of things. And it is cool to prep with your significant other. Like, we actually did start a prep together, and we were supposed to do the Texas show together. That's so crazy. And he dropped out of the prep. He dropped out of the prep or whatever. Now, the cons would be that it can become chaotic. It can be stressful on both parties. When someone preps, you become very needy and dependent on a person. So if you guys both are prepping, it can be very chaotic, because now you guys are both dependent on each other and very needy. Or if one person is only prepping, now you're super needy for the other person. Another con would definitely be, it's like, breakup. What if I break up? Then what if we break up, yo? Like, what the fuck I'm supposed to do? Honestly, you get another coach like I did, and life goes the fuck on. And if you were just mentally abused to a point, you're gonna be fine. I'm fine. I'm here telling y'all my story. And there's the feeling lonely and absent part. Like, he was so busy that he just could not provide the emotional, physical support, period. He was very absent in the relationship. You ever been in a relationship and you just felt lonely? That's how I felt with my boyfriend. And honestly, I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason.
To be prepped by your significant other isn't a bad thing, and it shouldn't have a bad stigma behind it, but unfortunately it does. This is just my personal experience. I honestly didn't go into too much details, but I did go through a lot emotionally, mentally, and physically. So this prep was hard. These 14 weeks was hard. And it was because I was dependent on my stressor. Till this day, like, I still am trying to wrap my head around it. Like, where did I go wrong? What went wrong? What could have, and honestly and truly, it was just the type of person that I was dealing with. They didn't do any wrong. There was no wrong that they could have done. And I kept having to be accountable for every single thing that I did, and they weren't accountable for anything. So it's just like, this is someone that I'm supposed to be listening to, someone that's supposed to care about me, someone that's supposed to be guiding me to the fucking stage, and at the same time providing love and support for me. But it was so many things missing from that. So this video more so isn't to discourage anyone to have their significant other prep them. It's more so just to be mindful of the trials, the tribulations, the hurdles. And if they're ready, if your partner's ready, if you're ready, because it's a whole different ballgame. But from my perspective and from my experience, I feel like it's just best to keep both separate. You have your own coach, they have their own coach. If y'all want to do a show together, y'all can do a show together, but have two separate coaches. Like, it's just my experience, and I'm still kind of trying to deal with it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this talking segment. Please thumbs up, like, and subscribe. I'm going to try and definitely get more content out there. And I will be creating a new series for my YouTube channel. It is going to be titled Road to Pro. When am I going to start documenting? Whenever prep starts. And prep starts now. So stay tuned for my new series coming on my channel.